A man once said if you want a good story just ask any random person if there was ever an event in their life they cannot explain. Someone almost always has one weird thing that has happened to them. So Reddit, regardless of whatever you believe about the world, what's your story? My friend and I were laying on a trampoline looking up at the sky, watching the birds fly. Then I swear I saw a flying bunny. I asked her if she saw it too and she did. It was probably a predator type bird carrying a bunny, but for the longest time I swore it was a flying bunny. The bunnies seem to have a flight division. Where Force 1. I went to the kitchen to grab an apple. I decided to slice it in the air, kind of like in Fruit Ninja. One half of the apple landed on the floor. The other just disappeared. I searched the entire kitchen and never found it. It's been like 7 years and I still haven't found it. If they had been an Area 51 raid, I'm sure they would have found my apple. You Thanos'd an apple? What did it cost? Half an apple. There was one time me and my parents were house sitting for the neighbors feeding their dog and stuff. One time while we were there I was chilling in the living room and saw someone go up the stairs. I assumed it was my dad because he had a pair of black dress shoes on that were similar to the ones my dad wore to work. A minute later I go into the kitchen and my dad is in the room with my mom taking, and moreover he is wearing sandals. I have no idea who it was I saw because there was 100% no one else supposed to be in the house at that time. Nothing was stolen when the neighbors got back, so I doubt it was someone who broke in. I went up there and did a quick check. Saw nothing, but I also didn't look very hard because younger me was very freaked out and quick to assume it was a ghost. Kinda rushed leaving too. That took balls just even going up there. Even as an adult I would have just called someone to come with me to hold my hand. Was sitting in my room reading a book, facing my open door. Saw my brother walk past into his bedroom next to mine. Heard him close the door. 30 seconds later, my dad comes up to my room, ashen-faced. "Where's your brother?" he asks me. "In his room." I answer without hesitation. "No, he's not." My dad continues to look absolutely horrified. "Your brother's not home." We check his room. It's empty. We both saw the same whatever it was walk into my brother's room. Still gives me goosebumps. When I was about 14 or 15 I was in my first class of the morning. I got a call from a private number and I answered it. It was my mum saying in a stern voice. I said no. Apprenticeships. I mean number. I was really confused by this because I hadn't done anything wrong. I was trying to explain to her that I was in class, but she just kept speaking over the top of me. I gave my phone to my friend to show her and she was confused too. It sounded exactly like my mum's voice and she said my name. I texted my parents asking what I did wrong and they said they had no idea what I was talking about. Later that day I got off the school bus and started walking through my neighbor's field to get to my house when I got the exact same call as if it was a voice recording. My parents still say they have no idea what it was about. I asked my friend if she remembered the phone call to make sure I wasn't just imagining things, and she does. Maybe it was a sleeper agent activation code and they sent it to the wrong person. Edit. Or it was your activation code and your training didn't work. Or it did work, and all his memories are fiction. Something similar happened to me. I was at my aunt's house sitting in the living room. I saw someone walk into my cousin's room. I go in the room to see why she was in there. No one was in there and she was outside. My brother also had that experience at her house. He was sitting in the living room and saw something and said something like, "Hey loser." Then he saw her walk out of the laundry room and was like, "How'd you get there from here?" She said she was in the laundry room the whole time. Okay, but the idea of your brother calling a ghost a loser is sending me into a giggle fit. Once on my birthday I was in the kitchen and was reading some schedule on the fridge when all of a sudden I heard the birthday song being whistled really nearby, like almost right behind me and very close to my right ear. I mindlessly began to hum along. Then it hit me. I was all alone at home and I had no fucking clue where, who or what it came from even to this day. I ran out of my house and didn't come back for the rest of the day. Auditory hallucinations are pretty common, especially with kids. I used to regularly hear the sounds a toy made that my mom threw away years prior. And when I was 11, the national anthem started playing out of nowhere. I regularly have dreams of my cat calling my name. Every time I wake up from one of these dreams she is looking at me. Before anything creepy or profound could happen, the little shits start yowling for wet food. Begging for food and telepathy hug. That's totally a cat thing to do.
I have broken the fundamental laws of reality and sliced through the veil of normal human perception with the skills of an ancient mystical being. Now give me my NUMS.
Holy crap. Something similar happened to me and a friend about 15 years ago. Me and a girl had just broken up recently and I was still upset about it. I had a dream where me and her were back together hanging out at a mall and everything was great. Then a man in a grey suit and grey top hat appeared and put his hand on my shoulder. He said something along the lines of, "This is wonderful, isn't it? You can have all of this. All you have to do is sleep forever." Of course this freaked me the fuck out and I started running as fast as I could away from this man. Still dreaming but unable to wake up. As I was running I called my best friend at the time who had been helping me through the breakup. I couldn't hear him but I was just yelling and crying about what was happening. Still running in the dream. I woke up soon after in a cold sweat, breathing heavily like I had run a marathon. I called that friend later in the morning to tell him about this crazy fucked up dream I had. First thing he says is he was just about to call me because he had a dream that I called him last night, but he said he couldn't really hear anything except what sounded like wind. Like you were running or something. I told him about the whole dream I had and the only way we explain it is that our brains were always so in sync. Like we'd say things at the same time and we vowed never to play rock paper scissors again because it went on for like 10 rounds without a winner. So even our dreams lined up somehow. The only part that messes with me is the man in the grey suit and top hat. I can still picture him 15 years later and wonder what would have happened if I accepted his invitation. Oh good lord, you made it to the end of the video. Give this video a thumbs up so I can give my butthole a thumbs up. And if you like my videos please feel free to subscribe. I post my bullshit every other day. Thank you, Flea.